All right, welcome everyone. If you are on the stream, what is going to happen is I will give you the live commentary through lap one, and then I will let it sit for a little, let the driver settle in, and then I'll go to some of the midfield battles, some of the major battles, and I'll give you all the key updates. I'll pop in and out. The last time I talked the whole time, and that's just not going to happen this time. So I will be typing updates. I'll be popping in and out of commentary. Like I said, I won't talk the whole time. Or if you guys want me to shut up, just let me know. Or if you guys want me to give you updates, let me know. Because they are not going to focus on the midfield this race, I can tell you right now. So I will walk you through. They are about to start the formation lap. So it's a pretty short circuit, so we've got just a little bit of time. And then I'll get back on when they are set. So thanks for checking this out, guys. And yeah, you got about probably 2 minutes. So all right, here we go. So the drivers are set. Back of the grid, Carlos Sainz gets set. We are about to be underway. Let me know if the audio, if there's any issues. I'll take you through lap one, like I said. Lights, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Vettel's off really well, but Verstappen's safe. Hamilton's trying to get around Vettel. It looks a little dangerous, but Hamilton gets away from Vettel clean. Hamilton P2, Vettel P3. Safe, relatively, no major incidents. Verstappen got away very good. It looks like Hamilton fighting with Vettel gave him a little bit of breathing room. Sainz has already made up a position. Lando Norris going around the outside. Watch him throughout this first 3 laps, especially because he's been he's taken very aggressive lines, I've noticed in qualifying as well. So Lando's still around the outside for more than half the lap. Looks like Norris just barely avoided Leclerc. Leclerc. Unbelievable battle first lap. So it looks like Lando Norris is passed by Leclerc, which obviously makes sense. But Norris is fighting really well with Ricciardo. So Ricciardo and Norris are probably going to be the fight for a little bit, for I would say for probably at least until lap 4 or 5. Okay, so as we are sitting through lap 3, here's the position. Verstappen P1, Hamilton P2, Vettel P3. Hamilton makes up a place. Vettel lost a place, obviously, to Hamilton. Valtteri stayed where he was, P4. And the grid stayed set through P9 going into lap 4. So, like I said, Albon P5, Gasly P6, Grosjean P7, Raikkonen P8, Magnussen P9. Leclerc's already made up 4 spots. So Leclerc is P10, Giovinazzi's P11. He's made up 1 spot. Norris has lost 2, but that seemed to be the fight between him and Leclerc, which was a really, really good battle. So I'll probably do an onboard about that later. So that's a little bit misleading, but Norris has lost 2 spots. Lance Stroll's up 4 spots, so he's P13. So he had a great start, and he got past his partner Sergio. Ricciardo's down 3 spots again. That seems to be a result of fighting. He touched the grass when he was fighting Norris, so that's not going to help him. But I bet Race Control will look at it, but leave it alone. Carlos Sainz has had a very, very good start. So he went from P20 to P16 plus 4 spots. Looks like Verstappen is setting very, very fast laps. So 1:13.0 going through many sector times. He's going green, green, green. Looks like a 2-stop strategy. He's on the softs. P1 through P8 are all on softs. Leclerc is obviously on the medium, setting that mighty qualifying time on his medium. So that makes sense considering he had tire selection. The only other drivers on mediums, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Kvyat, Kubica, and Russell. Everyone else is on softs. All right, and if you guys want any updates on fights, I'll leave you to it for a bit to check out the data. We are on lap 5. Everyone's settling in. Verstappen is setting the fastest laps, so I'll keep an eye on that. But again, it looks like if I had to guess, I'm not in the garage's ear. I've got the radio up, but it sounds like it's going to be a two-stop strategy, and Claire is making some really nice overtaking, although that was Grosjean in the Haas, but Okay, popping back on. I've been looking really, really close at the sectors and mini sectors, and if I had to guess, it looks like Leclerc is pushing that what is that, the C2, technically, by Pirelli, the elected compound. So that medium, he's pushing really hard through a first stint. I would guess pit window is going to be P16 or lap 16. When you look at his gap time, his interval times are dropping. He's pushing his car quick, but his gap times are not. And I would say that Verstappen obviously is driving a race of his own, not worried too much about Leclerc, but it looks like Leclerc is probably going to try to keep pace or go faster, but is having to adjust for Verstappen's really quick pace, which honestly is a little surprising to me as well, that he's pushing so hard. So Hamilton has been steady at a gap time of about 2 seconds. Vettel has been very close as well, but a consistent gap to Hamilton. Vettel is about 2.5 to 3 seconds. Not within DRS zone. No one in DRS zone, striking zone at the current moment besides from Daniel Kvyat. Big overtaking chances in the next couple of laps is going to be potentially George Russell and his teammate, but probably another good fight to watch is going to be Gio, who is trying to get caught by, who Norris is trying to catch Giovinazzi. But at the top, it's going to be pretty steady until pit window. So it's going to be overcut versus the undercut. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is it going to be an over or an under? But I think Verstappen is trying to get ahead to force the situation. But it looks like Valtteri might be in the best spot. I guess it depends on who gets the winning strategy from Mercedes. But Valtteri may get a surprising undercut. So we'll see. It looks like Vettel is getting plan A, is what just came over the radio, by the way. So I'll keep you in the loop. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll update you in a few more laps as pit window approaches. Ooh, I gotta pop on. So great little battle. And DRS is back on for Hamilton. So Hamilton, Verstappen, and Leclerc all battling with each other. In my opinion, it looks like Hamilton had a bit of a double move, in my opinion, but that's just me. They probably won't say anything. But for the next couple laps, this Hamilton Verstappen battle is about to be pretty epic. And what happened was, if you don't have a pit lane exit open, if you don't have a pit lane window, Kubica is for sure going to get a penalty. If he doesn't get a penalty, that'll be insane. Because Kubica can see Verstappen coming and his pit lane, but he just pulled out of nowhere. And Verstappen barely got out of the way. So that really messed it up. And that fight he just had with Verstappen, which he was successful in overtaking Leclerc. Verstappen had with Hamilton. Verstappen was able to overtake Leclerc and Hamilton, but he wouldn't have had to do all that work if Kubica didn't impede him. So Hamilton and Verstappen are going to go back and forth. Hamilton's gone around the outside twice. Verstappen's came back. So the Red Bull of Verstappen is trading DRSs with Hamilton. So I'll let you guys watch that. But if you, I got to cut down this lag time on the cars because you can see them going back and forth, but it's insane. Even between sectors, you can see them switching. So sorry, yeah, Hamilton just came on and shouting over the radio, but All right, we are on lap 35, so just about halfway. I never can really, and this is probably Lewis's prerogative, I never can actually tell how Lewis is doing on his tires, but he's complaining quite a bit. If you can see, Lewis went with a soft tire compound. Formula One rules state you need to switch compounds at least once, so Max and Lewis are forced to stop again for certain. Valtteri, it looks like I mentioned earlier, Valtteri's in a really good spot because typically what's going to happen is Lewis being in first, he'll get his choice of strategy from Bono, and then Valtteri will get whatever the most opportunistic choice is after that. And Valtteri went with a hard tire. He's currently P4 and 21 seconds off the lead, so he's cutting into the pit window, which is good, and he's going to finish the race on these hards. So they're, 8 laps old. Pirelli gives an estimation that is well within reason for him to finish this race comfortably. Him and it looks like Hulkenberg are on the same exact strategy, with Norris in P13 also on the hard, accompanied by Leclerc, who threw on the hard. So I would not be surprised if Leclerc battles for this P5 spot. My prediction was he will not be able to overtake Albon. The gap right now is 8 seconds, and Leclerc is on mediums, a couple laps older. Albon, as we know, has very, very good defense, very solid defense, technical defense. So that'll be a really good race, and I'll be incredibly shocked and impressed if Leclerc can get this P5, because that's what he'll need in the championship points to hold Verstappen off. So that is the update. Hamilton, and I haven't been listening since I've been talking, but Hamilton probably needs to pit soon. He's, I don't know if he's really complaining, but he might need to pit soon and go for the double, attempt a double undercut. But he is on 15 laps, a couple laps older than Verstappen. So him on the radio complaining, the other teams are, well, I don't know if they're listening, but they definitely are watching his telemetry data. No one really setting good green times. Leclerc just set a green sector 1. Everyone else seems to be settling in this middle stint, so I'll keep you updated. Big watches, the big fights to watch. Watch out for Kvyat, who's close to DRS, to Lando Norris. The fight that's going to be persistent is Ricciardo and Sergio, who have a history of fighting here. So, and kind of what I put in that video I made earlier this week, Lando needs to get P8. Ricciardo needs to be P11. He needs to get P11 or better. He probably needs to get a point, but Sergio is P10 in the championship. He's P10 now, so that's comfortable. But if Lando can get P8, he will likely set himself up in Abu Dhabi to land in the top 10 of the Drivers' Championship. So he needs this. He'll need to perform in these last few laps, and Ricciardo needs to hold it together because he's on softs. He's going to have to pit. These softs are 20-plus laps old. So I'll keep you guys in the loop. Kubica was with a 5-second penalty. Honestly, that's pretty generous considering it was very, very egregious. It was, if you can imagine Verstappen with Valtteri in Monaco, it was except a lot worse because the pit lane was like ghost town. Kubica saw him coming a mile. Well, not Kubica, his pit road. I'd never give it to the driver. It's not their fault. But that is the update. I'll keep you guys in the loop. I'll keep posting and commenting. And if you want more lap times, so it looks, I think that was Adam. Thanks for calling that out. I'll put the lap times. I'll post them in the chat too for you. All right, I'm gonna switch the Viz over really quick. I think this one I got some feedback. You guys like the other one better. I'm just gonna show you the gap times very quickly. Some of you are asking. So on the site, you can, like I said, toggle over and pick your driver and kind of follow them around. These are so far back because obviously Formula One works on interval, not gap. But here's kind of what it looks like as they race around. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back to sector now. But just so you know, if you ever wanted to check that out. And just a quick update. So we're on lap 46. It looks like the strategies from Verstappen and Hamilton were both impeded to protect against undercuts. You've got Vettel in P1, but he will not hold that. Both Verstappen and Hamilton are going to be absolutely battling, and it's going to be incredible to watch. So we've got about 20 laps of, well, less than 20 laps of this. Well, 25 laps, less than 30 laps, I meant. But we've got a lot of time left, and they are on, their tire life is basically the same exact. Verstappen is on lap 46. Verstappen's setting a purple sector. Hamilton's going green. So they're both pushing. It looks like who's going to blink first. So I'll keep you in the loop. I'll update you. If you want me on here more or less, let me know. And now's about a time where I'll do some commentary. So leave me if no one votes, which is all good, I will pick a fight that is closest and most interesting that is not the top two drivers, and I'll walk you through a lap or two battle. And the Sainz battle is good. The Kvyat Norris battle is always good. But that's probably who I'm going to be looking at is P8 through P14. So I'll give you guys a little bit of time, but then I'm just going to pop over at lap 50. Hey guys, I put on the background with I know based on the stream it's a ton of load on the probably on your player. So unless you have a machine with 50 plus RAM, you're probably getting a lag. Let me know if you want this background off. I know there's probably a little bit of a lag in my voice to what you see, so it's very simple to toggle on and off. So let me know what you guys want. If no one says anything, I'll leave it off just to make it clean. But I've noticed that some people are giving me feedback too, which I appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot. So if you want the background on or off, let me know. I toggled it on and off, but for now I'll leave it off in case unless there's a resounding on. Oh, and sorry about that. My keyboard's on. But the engine of, I popped on to tell you the engine smoking. Bottas is in trouble, and I would say this is probably because you're following too close. You're probably following Leclerc too close. So he's in DRS range. It looks like he's probably trying to close up, but this just isn't wise of him. So we'll see what he wants to do. He probably should get out of throttle and pop outside, but he's smoking. It's smoking clearly. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I'm like trying to. I'm in a couple different communities. Everyone's trying. We cannot figure this out. Hamilton is just gonna get picked apart by Verstappen. I don't think really Valtteri could do anything, but this is that this safety car, especially how long it is and where Valtteri pulled over. Now that I'm talking, I'm kind of focused on the tracker. But if the car's back markers get out of the way, they technically don't have to, right? So you guys can correct me. I don't think that's the actual FIA rule, but I mean, they should. So I'll pull up his onboard, but I don't know if they get out of the way. Hamilton, I mean, then it's just new tires versus old tires. Verstappen pitted. I'll walk through the pits really quick. So Verstappen went in, took the cheap pit. It's about 11 seconds. Leclerc obviously went in, threw on some softs. That was a blessing for him. So he owes Valtteri a beer for sure. You've got, and the other cheap pit was Lando Norris, and actually Hulkenberg went in. No, not Hulkenberg. I'm sorry. That's Kevin Magnussen. And then Robert Kubica went in. So everyone who took a cheap pit ended up throwing the softs on, except for Daniel Kvyat. So Daniel Kvyat, Lando Norris has gone from softs to hard to mediums, which with it's a lot 57, by the way. So that's a little conservative, right? I don't know why Lando put on. I guess he started on softs, but Lando throws on some mediums. I would be he's gonna push. So Lando right now is P14. He's gonna be within DRS range. So I'm probably gonna follow that fight for a little, but that's gonna be a great fight. Other great fights to watch now that we're on this little pause. Keep an eye out for Sergio, for Perez. You got Giovinazzi is going to be within striking distance, and Checo is really dangerous in in a good way. So he's going to try to jump in the top 10. Lando's going to have to put on this power stent, like I mentioned. He's got fresh tires. Carlos Sainz, I'm not really sure why he didn't take a cheap pit. I guess just the tire choices, because he started on softs, went to mediums. But he's been on, let me go into the data here. Carlos has been in these mediums for 30 laps with 13 laps to go. That's fascinating. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, so it looks like they gave it to him, and I just heard Hamilton's radio actually as you said that, so he's pissed. But that makes sense. I mean, I don't really know. There's nothing there's nothing he can do about that. So Verstappen is just probably licking his lips right now because he's going to absolutely eat this gap up even further. Let's check the telemetry, and I'll tell you how the sectors are going to look. But I'm assuming Lewis is going to go hammer time. The gap right now, we're under the safety car, obviously, but it's 3/4 of a second. Honestly, I do think, by the way, you guys can let me know, but I think Verstappen had a point. And Crofty, who is just so, sorry, but anti-Verstappen, I don't care what you say, he is anti-Verstappen. He always is critical of Verstappen. And I'll be critical of anyone, but Verstappen made a point about Lewis not slowing during the double yellow. He didn't lift. And I actually agree with that. And I've defended both of them. It's not like I prefer Hamilton to Verstappen, but I'm going to actually go back and look at his sector times, because they're saying Hamilton had a similar time as Verstappen, and we're still under safety car, by the way. Hamilton had a similar sector time as Verstappen, but Verstappen was further ahead. That was the point. So, people are saying Mexico. Well, Max accepted the penalty in Mexico, so it's not, it's not two-faced of Verstappen or contradicting for him to call someone else on this, because ultimately he did accept that penalty. But I think they should take a look at that, and they probably will. But it's Lewis, so they'll let it go. And I don't mean that in a conspiracy way. So Lewis is on the mediums for 15s. He is going to be, I don't know if you guys have access to radio, but his radio is going to be aggressive, to say the least. He's been more directive of his strategy more than I've heard before. So I usually listen to his radio in one ear And then I'll probably listen to Vettel's just because he's hilarious. But yeah, he's been calling his own strategy shots a lot lately. And he's even on this virtual safety cars have come over 4 times and keeps asking about the tire. And then he's already accepted the gap is going to be under a second, but he doesn't like that. Let's go through a couple other gap times because this is a long safety car and you guys are probably bored. Grosjean is DRS striking. Gasly, DRS striking. Wow. Everyone, P7, P8, P9, all within DRS. Vettel, DRS. Albon, DRS. And so obviously it'll open up a little bit once they restart, but not much. I would imagine Hamilton should, if he was smart, just accept this and just slow it up. Just pull up, what was that, in Abu Dhabi with Rosberg when he tried to slow up the pack? Just go incredibly slow. Okay, so we are in green track, and I'm going to give you the sector times as we go a quote-unquote outlap. Okay, so mind you, Verstappen's on the softs. He's going to have to get temperature, and it will do a better job. Okay, so that's not surprising, and so... Yep, and sorry, okay, I tried to let you guys listen if you're listening to the live broadcast, but what happened was Albon and Verstappen both on softs. Albon and Verstappen both on softs, able to get their tire temperature up. Both of them had a really good restart. They've actually talked about this before the race, so I'm kind of not surprised. And Albon now is going to have to play this defense, which I've seen before in F2 with him. So we've never had a chance to watch him play defense, so I would say watch out for that. Watch out for the 2 Leclercs battling as well, and then watch out for Danny Rick, who's been on a charge lately, looking at his sector time. So the data on the screen is a little bit faster than F1, and then probably my commentary to when you hear it is probably a little bit slower than the live broadcast, but at least what you see is faster. So where we sit right now on lap 60, and I'll type it up for you. Lap 60, Verstappen jumped Hamilton on the restart on the softs. He's been on the softs for 5 laps. Hamilton, P2 on mediums, couldn't get his tires up to temperature on the restart, no matter how much he tried to back them up. But he's on 17 old mediums in P2. Alex Albon jumped everyone, so very impressive. Definitely going to be an onboard, but he jumps from P6, or I guess technically P5. He jumped over both Ferraris, both, by the way, on softs. And Vettel's tire life in P4 are the same as Albon's, and Leclerc's were younger. So Albon jumped both Ferraris on the restart with the same tire compound. So very, very impressive. And so the live broadcast is going to go show gaps for a little bit, but you'll see it on your screen. I've given you the data, the gap time all under a second from P3 to P5. So that chunk that we're just battling are all within DRS, and then basically everything from P8 on. I'll scroll down for you guys. I just noticed you can't even see the full table, but if you guys want the table, by the way, just the table, let me know and I'll send it to you. I just thought about that, but I just have a basic clean table that's not even like lighting up like this. It's more just a basic table. And I know people like the F1 Word and Gallagher, they all look at tables similar to this, but they don't get sector times. They just do lap times. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do this, but for now, you guys will get it for free. And anyone who's interested, I'll probably make like some sort of sign up and I'll give it to you free next year for supporting the channel early, but this will be probably 10 times better next season. So I just whipped this up a week ago. Okay, so again, I'll read it off because they're exchanging hands. P1, Verstappen, P2, Hamilton, P3, Albon, P4, Vettel. And, sorry, gaming on screen. You can actually, they're actually in descending order. So on the screen, you'll see who's where. I'll move this lap up. But check out the channel later. You're going to want to see this restart because it is awesome. Albon runs down the outside and just passes both of them around the outside. It is pretty respectful, actually, of it is really respectful of Vettel, the amount of space he gave him. He did give him a fair amount of space. All right, lap 63, and if no one picks the battle, I'm going to go with, let's see. I mean, really anyone in the midfield all the way down to Kubica is in DRS zone, in DRS range in the interval gap. So okay, let's check out Danny Rick. Always good for something. Okay, so now we are going to hop over to Danny Rick. We've got, we're on lap 63. And by the way, just checking the screen, it looks like Albon safely defended Vettel, which is nice for Albon. Danny Rick, I'm on board with him. He is chasing down Antonio Giovinazzi, so you should be able to get him pretty soon. That Renault power should be help him out. I mean, Giovinazzi has got a lot of power, especially he's got his own DRS. So he is chasing, they're all chasing down, it looks like Carlos Sainz. And knowing Ricardo, he's going to set him up for an inside out. So he's showing a lot of inside moves. He's going down through the Senna S's. Yeah, Ricardo's actually not gaining a ton of ground here. He's showing them a couple fakes, but I would assume that everyone's benefiting off their own DRS of the short interval time they've got in front of each other. They're on the control line. Yeah, Danny Rick's having trouble keeping up with Giovinazzi. So this one's going to be a long battle. I thought this was going to be a lot shorter. So let's move over. That's a dud for an onboard battle, at least. Let's move over back to Albon because I don't think Vettel's going to go away anytime soon. Wow, everyone is just on top of each other. All right, Alex Albon is at a 1.3 interval time, and let's go on board with Vettel, actually, because he's chasing Albon. He's within DRS. And for whatever reason, Vettel's got the really cool onboard view where it's down from the bottom right. And he's like one of the only drivers that has that. So looking on board, their control line, they'll be headed into Senna S's. The straight line speed for Ferrari, it looks like the braking zone, Vettel's braking later, but they're able to brake later. But Leclerc, and as I was saying that's a really cool view. Leclerc came out of nowhere, and Leclerc overtakes him with a very late brake. And it looks like Vettel is fighting back. But there's a puncture. Wow, this is incredible watching live because you can tell for sure there was a puncture. And I'm not even listening to the live broadcast, and he's slowing down. He's in the middle of the road, too. That is honestly a nightmare. I'm a little bit shocked, speechless. Unbelievable. They need to get off the track. Vettel, it looks like Vettel got passed on a late break as I was talking through the control line. He looks real upset. And Vettel was overtaken on a late break by Leclerc. Vettel came back on the outside. I need to take my earphones off. Vettel is screaming in the mic. And they're saying Vettel is swinging left. I had the benefit of literally watching from his bottom hit the actual onboard camera. I kind of want to hold judgment, but from what I saw, I couldn't even see Leclerc just because I was looking at what Vettel could see. And he didn't really look like he changed lines. I don't know how much space he had. So if anyone saw that, unless I guess you were watching onboard, you won't know. But what I can say for sure is Vettel definitely did not deviate too far left. That doesn't, maybe he didn't leave him enough room though, but because Leclerc had position, it wouldn't have been about the amount of room Vettel left. It would have been about the amount of room that it would have been about the amount of space that Vettel was trying to squeeze him off. So I couldn't see that part. So let me know if you guys saw it, but he didn't really go too far left, but that's, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend Vettel because I can't even see it. So this looks pretty bad too. There's a lot of carbon fiber. Okay, I've got the replay right now, so I'll probably put my foot in my mouth because this will be the first onboard I make the second this race is over, and they're probably going to fight me to let it up. So, okay, it looks like Leclerc overtakes him safely. He holds his line. Vettel comes around the outside. Ooh, that's where it was. Okay, so... Oh, okay, that... If anyone, that's Vettel. Yeah. No, Leclerc went left. That's not Leclerc's fault, unfortunately. Sorry, Vettel fans. I'm not saying it's Vettel's fault. I need to look at that a few more times. Certainly not Leclerc's fault. He actually moved left because he's on the inside. So, not too often am I overtly coming out immediately defending Leclerc, nor any driver, but that's not his fault. There's no way. This is going to be a long safety car, guys. So, it will probably end under safety. Wow, Verstappen. Holy cow. Verstappen's going to take P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Okay, sorry if I'm all over the place, guys. This is crazy. So, okay, they're showing it again, and I'll walk you through it, and I'll go on. Actually, I can go on board for this part. Leclerc overtakes him on the control line, and it sounds like Lance has a failure, but Leclerc overtakes him on the straight and a late break, goes into turn 2. Vettel comes around the outside to swing it back around. Had a little bit, the air was, he punched a hole in the air, came on the outside, and they were approaching the turn. Looks like Vettel squeezed in a little bit. And I say the word squeeze, I don't mean he was trying to squeeze him off the track. He moved in to have a better approach, maybe to, I guess to push Leclerc off the racing line, but it wasn't egregious. I would say no one really did anything egregious. And if I had to guess, I think Vettel just did a miscalculation based on his position with Leclerc. But he clipped barely, and I would say that was shocking, the fact that it resulted in a puncture. But Vettel barely clipped, I guess let's get it right. So the outside right on the front of Leclerc, his tire, and Vettel's left clipped it just barely, but it had immediate damage for Leclerc, obviously. And then after about probably like 50 meters, you could tell Vettel was going to have a problem, and then it just kind of fell apart. So if the Formula One team actually let me do this onboard, so thankfully I've gotten a lot more subscribers even this weekend, so you guys are awesome. I will do that one first. And if you guys want any requests, now's the time. But usually I make mostly requests, so if you guys have any, let me know. But I'm definitely going to do that one, and I'll probably do the restart of Albon. And it's just yeah, RV, it's just incredible for Red Bull. Christian Horner, 46th birthday. Oh my gosh, this is so it's going to be a Red Bull podium. Mattia is absolutely furious. Is this worse? I don't know. Do you guys think this is worse than the Rosberg double DNF? Both of these drivers, you've got Leclerc P3 in the championship, Vettel P5 in the championship, Verstappen sandwiched between, and they double DNF. That's a nightmare. Not to mention Albon. I mean, I guess he's out of contention, but unbelievable. Pierre Gasly. That's unbelievable drive. He'll probably get driver of the day. Oh, okay. So restart. Hopefully no one got caught napping. Wow, what if Hamilton overtakes Gasly? That's kind of sucky for Gasly. All right, well, we're going to go live. If you guys want anyone, let me know, but I'm probably going to look because Hamilton's going to try to get him immediately. So I'm going on board with Hamilton. Oh, wow. Okay. Verstappen just went for it immediately. Albon locks up. Hamilton goes on the inside, overtakes Gasly. Kind of saw that coming. Honestly, Albon's going to be in trouble. Talk about raining on parades. Okay, so Hamilton's going to show him the inside a few more times. What the interval time of Hamilton is under a second. This is going to be very close. We're on lap 69. If you missed it, if you're just checking, double DNF Ferrari. All right, here we go. Here's the defense. I was building Albon up. Okay, so he stays very much on the inside, which is probably exactly what Hamilton wants. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. Hamilton takes out Albon. That is such a shame. Watching the onboard live, watching that live, Hamilton didn't even, I'm sorry, but Hamilton didn't even attempt. That's unbelievable. He didn't even attempt to, like, keep Albon safe there. Absolutely going to get a penalty for that. That was unbelievable. And if someone on the commentary, I just heard another chat, someone keeps saying he left the door open. That doesn't mean you can take a driver out. I'm sorry. But he absolutely took him out there. Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. So this is going to end. It looks like Hamilton's not going to be able to get him. It's going to end with Verstappen winning, Gasly in P2, Hamilton likely in P3, unless he can somehow overtake that. You heard it here first. That'll be my second onboard after the DRNF, but there's no way you can say that he left the door open too far. That's unbelievable. It doesn't even matter if Hamilton overtakes him because he's going to get a penalty. Oh my gosh, Kvyat and Hamilton are almost touching. Or Gasly, I'm sorry, not Kvyat, I'm sorry. So yeah, it finished with Verstappen P1, Gasly P2, Hamilton P3, barely edging him out. I think Hamilton was not gonna make another touch, but it was very close. So congrats to Gasly for getting that podium. Carlos Sainz P4, Raikkonen P5, Giovinazzi 6. The Alfa Romeos with just an absolutely mega day. So Honda take the 1-2. Great day for Honda, even though Albon, that's such a shame, honestly. Okay, so P7, you had Ricciardo, which is not going to help the title fight. I guess it does help Lando, who was P8, because he took a little bit more in terms of a point share than Checo, P9, and then Kvyat in P10. All right, let me leave behind the finish. And then I'll leave this chat open for a little bit. All right, so I just left the top 10 at least. I had to stop there. There's so many updates, and I'm going to have to record about 1,000 onboard videos. Definitely going to be the celebration of Gasly, who just screamed for a solid 30, no joke, screamed for 30 seconds. I'm not even kidding, into the radio when he was celebrating. Hamilton, if he gets a 5-second, which I can guarantee you he gets a 5-second, or I will make even a longer video than the 40-minute video that I thought Ferrari deserved much more than what they got for what they did in Japan. But I can guarantee you he gets a penalty. 5 seconds makes him P7. As of right now, Hamilton is P3. And it's under investigation. So we will see what happens. But like I said, guys, I not even joking. What did I say? 30 seconds before that happened, I went on board. Same with Vettel, so that was great timing. But what you can expect, like I said, after this race is I listen to see if they're talking. Karun usually talks stewards. On the onboards, I will be doing double DNF Ferrari. I'll be doing Albon, Hamilton. I'll be doing the Albon restart where he jumped the Ferraris. But yes, Verstappen takes 25 points. Anybody know who got fastest lap? That's a good one. No one's doing that math. Everyone just, if you saw all the graphics, basically everyone just copies each other. Leclerc's got 7 poles. The math I was doing was his conversion to points is one of the lowest from pole 2, but with no points finish, Verstappen, what's the math on him jumping? So I'll check that right now. I'll get that over to you guys as well. If you guys want any more content, let me know. I'm going to hang around here because I need to see if they make a penalty call. Actually, no, I'm going to make this video. I'll leave the chat up so you guys, if you have any questions or anything, or you can watch through the chat if you're just now catching the tail end, but you missed an incredible race. And if you have any questions, let me know, or request. I'll leave the chat open. So I will be here for Abu Dhabi. I'll clean a couple things up. Thanks, you guys. Especially thanks, Adam. You left a couple really awesome comments. Thanks for the question, Bernardo. I can certainly confirm I think he's going to get a penalty without a doubt. It'll be, and that's my bias, it'll be a shame to F1 and a shame to Albon if they don't give him a penalty for that. And if the argument is he left the door open, I can't wait to talk to every single Lewis fan who makes that call, because that's unbelievable and egregious and just dumb. Leaving the door open is different if you're not entitled to the line, and he didn't have it. But I really haven't gone through it, to be fair. It just pissed me off that that happened and that he just kept going and almost even touched Gasly. So they're going to take a while with this call. They've gotten a lot of criticism with how long they take, but they're going to take a while for this call. This kind of overshadows him not lifting off on that double yellow, though, to be honest with you. So, all right, I'm going to make these onboards. It's probably going to take me a few tries. There's no way they let me get these up before them. But congrats, Verstappen. He's, without doing the math, for sure going to jump to P3. I'll leave the chat open. I'll be here for Abu Dhabi. Like I said, if you have any requests to make this better, like I said, leave it and I will fix it. But that is the race, and appreciate your time and support. You guys mean a lot. This means a lot, and this is the only way I can keep stuff like this up, because they can't deny the growth, and they can't just pull down videos of growing channels, because there is a dark underside to YouTube and content creation and just content claiming. It's unfair, but you guys make it possible, so I really appreciate you, and I'll be around on the chat. Thanks a lot, guys.